For more on the new anti-terror measures and what it could mean for EU, I'm joined by Marisa Matias from Lisbon. She's a member of the European Parliament. Marisa, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
So what do these new border controls mean for EU citizens traveling through the passport-free Schengen zone? More delays, longer wait time?
I think that in the middle of this crisis we are making a huge confusion because this has nothing to do with Schengen. Border control within the European countries would never prevent any of the terrorist attacks which we unfortunately have seen over the last years. So I think this is an excuse, unfortunately, to again bring more securitarian policies and border control. But it's not about surveillance, because if we can see what happened over the last years and the terrorist attacks that we had, they were all perpetrated by European citizens. So that means that even with Schengen not being into practice, that would mean that all the attacks would happen in any case. I'm really sorry about this misunderstanding and this debate, because we are just bringing fear to add to the already existing fear, and in a different way we are putting into question the very own values of the European Union, namely the brotherhood and freedom for all the European citizens, in this case, to cross the borders. So I think that this is not by chance that we are discussing Schengen in this moment, but unfortunately, and again, as I said, this has nothing to do with these horrific attacks that we have seen in Paris and previously.
So you're saying if a terrorist wants to do something awful once again, these new security measures are really not going to make a difference in Europe?
No, I think that these are different debates. I'm saying that, of course, there's a need for an European answer. And I'm waiting for it for a long time ago, honestly. There's a need for a European answer against terrorism, because, of course, this is our common problem. What I'm saying is that these measures which are being presented, namely the suspension of Schengen, will not solve it, and this is the shame, because we are doing or trying to put into practice.
Marisa, let me interrupt you because we're running out of time.
Different type of response.
Okay, so what is your solution? If these measures in Schengen are not going to solve anything, what will?
I think an answer to the real problems, and back to the basics. We cannot honor the threats with additional threats. So it's not by making the war that we prevent the war, not financing terrorist groups, not buying the oil in the territories which are occupied by the so-called Islamic State, having a clear cooperation policy. These are clear and concrete measures, and having a policy for the refugees. I think that this is the basics of the basics, and we are trying to avoid it by just multiplying the fear. I know this is not a majority view today in the Council. This is not the majority view of the European leaders, but I must say that we will never win the war by doing additional war and promoting it. So that's the opposite way. We need to answer to it through solidarity and a common answer, but by promoting the European values, not to attacking them.
Understood. Marisa Matias, thank you so much for your time.